So, sorry I couldn't get it to work there for like a while. But I got it to work, and we are ready to watch an amazing game. Um, yeah. Crystal Palace. Not we're not in Manchester for the game, but we're in London for the game. Um, which is about to start in a little bit. Um, which is about to start in like a minute. So yeah, we are ready to watch an amazing game. One of multiple Premier League games going on today. Crystal Palace versus Manchester City. Today is the game we are watching. There's also a couple other Premier League games, which includes Aston Villa versus Brentford, Everton versus Burnley, Fulham versus Newcastle, Luton Town versus Bournemouth, Wolverhampton versus West Ham, and Brighton Arsenal. The Manchester City fans should watch Brighton Arsenal because that could help City in the title race. If they win this game, they will be most likely in first place, Manchester City. So, you know, we're about to get the game underway. Game's about to get underway in Selhurst Park in in London, England. One of the multiple, probably like 10 teams in London, England. Um, um, so Erling Haaland will play this one, but in net for Manchester in goal for Manchester City is Stefan Ortega. Ederson, of course, is not going to be here today, I guess. He's not playing today. Ederson is on the bench, but he's not playing today. So he is back from injury. So we're ready. We're about ready to get this game underway. Kyle Walker Kyle Walker won't be playing with a hamstring injury. He should be back by mid-April. And Nathan Ake, he has a calf injury, so he won't be playing. And there's a couple other injuries for Crystal Palace, but I don't know if they're super noticeable. Kickoff about to get underway here, and we are ready to watch the first game of the day. The game of the day in London for Manchester City taking on Crystal Palace. Manchester City go for the 4-1-4, which includes Manchester City. Let's go to City's lineup first. We've got Ortega in net, followed by John Stones playing center back as well. Ruben Diaz is also playing center back. So is Josko Gardavoli playing center back as well. You move up, you've got Rico Lewis, who's playing defensive mid, and so is Rodri. Oscar Bob playing right wing, and so is Julian Alvarez playing attacking mid. Kevin De Bruyne, the captain for Manchester City in today's game, playing attacking mid, as well as Jack Grealish playing left wing, and Erling Haaland is back playing the striker position. We go to the bench. You've got Ederson, Nkanji, Kovacic, Bernardo Silva, Mateus Nunes, Mahamadou Susho, Jeremy Doku, Sergio Gomez, and Phil Foden on the bench for Manchester City, being coached by Pep Guardiola today. For Crystal Palace, Jordan Dean Henderson will play the goalkeeper position as Joel Ward plays the center back position. You've got Crystal Palace who do the 3-4-2 with Dean Henderson in net, Joel Ward in center back, Jack Anderson also playing center back. You've got Jefferson Lamara playing center back. You've got Daniel Munoz playing right mid. Adam Wharton playing center mid. Will Hughes playing center mid as well. And Tyreek Mitchell playing left mid as well. Jordan Ayew, one of their star players, playing attacking mid today. Eberti Eze playing attacking mid. And up front is Jean-Philippe Mateta playing the striker position. And being on the bench is Remy Matthews, James Tompkins, the rest coached by Oliver Glasner. Here comes Crystal Palace on the attack. Crystal Palace has got the ball. It is going, and it's a goal for Crystal Palace. Really early on, a goal for Crystal Palace. It's 1-0 Crystal Palace. Was not expecting that. Was not expecting a goal from Crystal Palace. Was not expecting that. A goal for Crystal Palace, and it's 1-0 to Crystal Palace. Wow. What goal. Crystal Palace, they get their first of the game, and Crystal Palace, thanks to Jean-Philippe Mateta, he gets a goal, and that's his sixth. He scored 6 goals and 4 assists in 27 Premier League matches. The 26-year-old for Crystal Palace, and they have a big advantage now over Manchester City, seeing that they got the goal. In his last match, which was against Bournemouth, he had a 6.5 match rating. His first goal since Saturday, March the 30th, when he scored in the 1-1 draw against Nottingham Forest. In the last 4 games, he has scored 3 goals. He scored both the equalizer in the Nottingham Forest game on the 30th and the Luton Town game on March the 9th. Both of those games being in March. He did not score in their 1-0 loss against Bournemouth on Tuesday, but he does score again today. Goal for the 26-year-old, the French 26-year-old. He plays striker, Jean-Philippe Mateta. I don't know if I'm... Correct me if I'm saying that wrong, but I don't think I am. Yeah, now Manchester City's got to come back and do something. I guess they do have to, they've got to do something. They've got to put a goal and make it 1-1. A free kick now for Kevin De Bruyne. Manchester City does have 88% ball possession, but in that 12% for Crystal Palace, they have scored a goal this early on. Adam Wharton gets the assist for Crystal Palace. He is 19 years old and is from England, the center mid. Adam Wharton. Let's talk about his season. He's not gotten he's played 8 Premier League matches. The 6-foot player has. He's from England. He's 19 years old. He's playing today. That was in his 8th match. That was his first ever. He has had 1 assist prior to that. Because he just moved from. He has just moved from Blackburn to Crystal Palace. So that's big news for him. Big transfer to move from Blackburn to Crystal Palace, moving up in the league ranks. So this is his 8th Premier League game. Just signed for the Eagles. Played his first game February 3rd for the Eagles. Here comes Crystal Palace yet again on the attack. Crystal Palace, that one's going. They still have it. Crystal Palace has got the ball now. That one's going and missed. I think it'll be a goal kick for Manchester City. So Manchester City currently still sit 3rd in the Premier League, plus 37 on goal differential. If they do manage to draw 1-1, I don't see them moving up because Arsenal has a 48 goal differential, and they would have a plus 38 goal differential. Crystal Palace currently in 14th, one place above Brentford in 15th. And they have a minus 15 goal differential, which won't help them much. Erling Haaland trying to go for the attack there. 8 minutes in, and it's 1-0. And it's 1-0 for Crystal Palace. I really don't know how they let one go this early on in the game. But they did in the 3rd minute of the game, which seems very unlike Manchester City, because when these two teams have played each other, they played each other on 23 times in the history of the world, in the history of soccer, since 1894, they played 23 times. Probably not true, but from what the records we have, they played 24 times. Manchester City has won 16 times. Manchester City has beaten Crystal Palace 16 of the 23 times. They've drawn 4 times, and Crystal Palace has only won 3 games against Manchester City. The Crystal Palace's last win against Manchester City was a 2-0 win back in October of 2021. The last time these two teams played each other, it was a 2-2 game where Jack Grealish and Rico Lewis scored. And Mateta scored as well. He was the goal scorer in today's game as well. He scored last time. He scored in 2 consecutive games against Manchester City. So, and they did play each other once this season, which was December, which was back in their 2-2 draw in December. 10 minutes in, Manchester City, they got to do something really, really early on. If they want to win, they got to score two goals if they want to win the game here. Here comes Julian Alvarez. Can't get that one. It's deflected. That one passing out. Shot saved by Crystal Palace by Henderson. Dean Henderson, not Jordan Henderson. So we do have a lot of great Premier League games to watch today. Of course, the other big one between Arsenal and Brighton will be at 12:30. That's a big one, because if Manchester City win this game today, they move up to possibly first place. I thought this was looking like it could be like a 5-0 game for City. That's the way I look at when City plays lower teams. When I look at this game, I was thinking it was going to be a 5-0 game. Just like how I look at next week's game against Luton Town. I look at it as a 5-0 game. I'm not you like the way, and I'm sure Crystal Palace fans look at it the same way. It when you go play Manchester City, it's tough. They get those big results. They get those big games. So they get those big games. So I think that they get those huge wins, just like they got the 4-1 win against Aston Villa. I think that they could have used all their energy in the game against Aston Villa. Their 4-1 win against Aston Villa. But I think that Manchester City's just gotta play it like they did against Aston Villa. But I mean, then again, that game against Aston Villa was at the Etihad, and going to the Etihad is one of the hardest things to do in the world of soccer. Going to the Etihad is one of the most toughest things you could do in soccer. So here comes Manchester City. Manchester City's got the ball now. Bringing this one up, the pass to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne's got it. He puts it in the back of the net, and it's 1-1 for Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne, he does it again and again, and the City fans in London celebrate as it's Crystal Palace 1, Manchester City 1, and Dean Henderson couldn't really get a chance on that. That was a really good goal for Kevin De Bruyne. He curved it into the top of the net. He curved in the top of the net. Dean Henderson couldn't really do anything. He couldn't really save it. Really tough one to save. Curved it to the top right of the goal. What a goal for Kevin De Bruyne. He gets another goal and his first of the game. So Kevin De Bruyne, he's played 10 Premier League matches this season. Remember, he had a big injury to start the season. He got injured in the Champions League finals last season when they played Inter Milan in the Champions League final. So in 10 matches, he scored 2 goals and 5 assists for Manchester City. 1-1 is the score now in London. So in his last game, in the 0-0 draw last week. That was a very tough game for City. Getting off that 0-0 draw against Arsenal I'm surprised that Arsenal could go to the Etihad and get a result like that. They should be happy with the result they got at the Etihad. So that was Kevin De Bruyne's first goal since his Champions League goal against FC Copenhagen back in the 13th. That was his first Premier League goal since January the 13th against Newcastle. So that goal was unassisted at the moment. I think that was assisted by Jack Grealish. From what I'm seeing, that was an unassisted goal, so don't really think that was an assisted goal there. So Manchester City, Pep Guardiola is in a good position at the moment. Well, the big talk is whether Guardiola will leave Manchester City for a better job. Well, I mean, coaching the England national team obviously is a better job, and obviously I'd rather him take that kind of. As much as I want him to stay at Manchester City, if he had the opportunity to go coach England, I would want him to. I would be like sad if he leaves, but I want him to take the opportunity that's better for him as being a coach. So Manchester City, Erling Haaland leads the Premier League in scoring. He scored 18 goals this season, most in the Premier League. There's a tie for second between Ollie Watkins of Aston Villa, Dominic Solanke of Bournemouth, Mohamed Salah of Liverpool, and former Manchester City player Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer scored the equalizer in the Community Shield against Arsenal at the very, very beginning of the season, which is the game between the team who finishes first last season and the team who finishes second last season. They play a game for some random trophy that I don't know if it really means a lot. It means a lot to the winning team, but Phil Foden also has scored 14 goals this season, tied for ninth. He's ninth in the Premier League. So that goal is unassisted, the Kevin De Bruyne goal, in the 13th minute. So Kevin De Bruyne, age 32, 5'11", the Belgium. He did not get to play for the Belgium national team in that game against England. I don't know why Kevin De Bruyne didn't get called up to the national team to play that game against England. I think it would have been a great idea to put De Bruyne in against England, being that he plays in England. He did have a 4-assist game. He's had a lot of great. He got 4 assists in the game against Luton Town on the 27th in Manchester City's 6-2 win. So for Crystal Palace after today, they will go play they have a really tough 2 games, which includes this one. This is a really tough game for Crystal Palace. The game against Liverpool next week is also going to be really tough, and the shot from Erling Haaland is missed. Erling Haaland did not start in the game against Aston Villa. I would kind of use that game as a rest day. He played a really tough game against not Aston Villa. He played a really tough game against Arsenal in the 0-0 game on Saturday, so I would see why you kind of rest him on Wednesday's game and use him today's game, because I don't think a lot of teams like to play those midweek games, not a lot of teams I feel like play those midweek games. And also today, I feel like they should kind of rest him and get him ready for the game on Tuesday when they go to the Bernabeu and they play in one of the toughest. Well, I mean, it's not really a tough environment, Real Madrid Stadium. It's more like they have one of the most advanced. I think the reason why they are like saying it's the new Real Madrid so excited about their stadium is because Europe is really new to this kind of technology that Real Madrid uses. So they kind of say their stadium's like really new. But there's a lot of other stadiums that are on the same level as Real Madrid Stadium is. So I don't see their stadium being anything special. So they will go to the Estadio Santiago Bernabeu in Madrid. So Madrid will play Manchester City 3 p.m. 3 p.m. on Tuesday. So really big one. That's a Champions League game, and Manchester City, last time they played Real Madrid in the Champions League, we all know how that ended. It was a 4-0 win for Manchester City. And that game really proved how good of a team Manchester City was last season. And playing Real Madrid so early on in the Champions League is going to be tough. Because everyone's saying that Manchester City had one of the easiest paths. They have the easiest path to winning the Champions League, but they are playing Real Madrid in the quarterfinals to get to Wembley Stadium and play the finals in Wembley Stadium. You know what I mean. Their game on then they'll play Luton Town at the Etihad on Saturday the 13th, and then on the 17th they play the return game at the Etihad. Which a player down on the ground. I think that I don't, is that Kevin De Bruyne or Jack Grealish? One of those players. Jack Grealish is on the ground for Manchester City. Manchester City still currently in third in the Premier League. They want to get this win. This win would be a lot for Manchester City. They're still not above Arsenal in terms of the Premier League standings. If they do get the win, I think they will. I don't think they will be second in the Premier League. And if they get 4 more goals, they will be first in the Premier League. That's like 4 or 5 more goals to be first in the Premier League. Yeah, I don't think Manchester City could be first in the Premier League today. So tomorrow's game, which is a must-watch for Manchester City fans, a 10:30 game as Manchester United play Liverpool. Now, there's a lot of mixed opinions on that one, because you do want Liverpool to lose, but you kind of want Man United to lose at the same time. That's a tough one for Manchester City. I will be watching that game. It's tough for Manchester City fans to watch that game tomorrow. So here comes Manchester City on the attack. We've got no other games going on at the moment inside the top 5 leagues. But in the championship, Norwich City tied 0-0 against Ipswich Town. Ipswich Town looking to get to the Premier League for next season. I think that's something that Ipswich Town can accomplish. Can accomplish. So we have had one person. We did do the vote. I didn't really talk about that. But we do have a voting up on who you think is going to win this game. Manchester City, a draw, or Crystal Palace. Going into this game, I was thinking a 4-0 win for City, but that's not the way it's going at all at the moment. I was really, really confident going into this game. But the Bournemouth game a couple weeks ago showed a lot of things in City's ability to play lower teams and get a lot of goals. So AC at 9 o'clock, we've got AC Milan taking on Nice. AC Milan, they are putting Christian Pulisic in the starting lineup. Love to see him play for AC Milan. We've also got in the MLS, NYCFC taking on Atlanta in City Field tonight. So that's going to be a big one. NYCFC, who were 1-1-4 on the season. Atlanta, who are 3-0-2. NYCFC favored to win that game. So yeah. So don't miss tomorrow's stream. We're streaming the New York Mets versus the Cincinnati Reds tomorrow. Really excited to stream that game. Yesterday, the Mets got a 3-2 win against the Reds. They're playing again today at 4 p.m., 4:10 p.m. So watch that game and then watch the game we're streaming tomorrow. Mets are 1-0 against the Reds today this season. So Manchester City, they're a really tough team to play. Manchester City, they've been through a lot of ups and downs in their career, and they're not career. They're like being a team since like 1894. They've been through a lot of ups and downs. Manchester City, really good. Kevin De Bruyne's had a really good game so far. As a team, though, they have a 6.4 match rating. Kevin De Bruyne having the highest match rating of the game with a 7.7 match rating. We'll do we'll do a score prediction. Um, um, at the moment, I think it could be it's tough to predict the score of this game because going into this game, I could predict the score easily. It wouldn't be that hard to predict the score of the game. Um, but I feel like at the moment, I think it's probably could be a 3-1 City. I think it will be a 3-1 City win. The way the first half is, you know what? I think it will be a 2-1 City win. The way the first half is going is really tough for City. Giving up that goal in the third minute of the game, 2-1 City, I think will be the score line for today's game. Yeah, Crystal Palace doesn't really have. They have a lower match rating as a team, 6.5 match rating. So we'll see how City plays the rest of the game. 29 minutes in, it's Manchester City 1, Crystal Palace 1 from Selhurst Park in London. Speaking of London, Fulham will also be playing in London today as Fulham take on Newcastle today as well in London. Here comes Manchester City. The amount of soccer teams that are in the Premier League and in London, there's probably like 3 or 4 teams that are in London. 3 or 4 top division teams in London. 3 or 4 Premier League teams maybe 4 or 5 in London. That one's going out of bounds. Manchester City's got the ball back. They've still got the ball. Manchester City putting the pressure on. Crystal Palace in their last 5 matches for both sides. Crystal Palace currently 14th in the Premier League at the moment. But looking at this, Manchester City going into this game has a 71% chance of winning. Big. But looking at their last their last 5 games for Manchester City. Manchester City's last 5 games were really good. They are 3-2-0 in their last 5 games. 3 wins, 2 draws, no losses in their last 5 games. But for Crystal Palace in their last 5 games, it's been a little bit of a different kind of roller coaster. They are 1-2-2 in their last 5 games. 1 win, 2 losses. No, 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses. Which their only win was an exhibition match against their only win in their last 5 matches was an exhibition match against a Norwegian team. So that was Crystal Palace's last win on the 14th when they played Bodo, a Norwegian team, and they got a 1-0 win. '31st minute, Manchester City won, Crystal Palace won. A home game today for Crystal Palace, so they will be back at the Etihad on Saturday to play for business as usual when they play when they play oh my when they play when they play when they play another game against Luton Town. Oh, okay. Nothing. So, Crystal Palace, a corner kick for Kevin De Bruyne. So, we are streaming the Mets-Reds game, and we're also streaming the Rangers-Islanders game next Saturday. As well as maybe the final game of the season for the Rangers. Probably not, but the shot from Manchester City is wide, real wide. Almost had a good curve, but couldn't get it in the back of the net. So in the second division, Ipswich Town versus Norwich City. Really big one, 0-0 in that one. Ipswich Town are first in the championship, and Norwich City are sixth in the championship. If the English championship ended today, or as some people call it, Division 2, if the championship ended today, Ipswich Town and Leeds will automatically go to the Premier League, and Leicester City, Southampton, West Bromwich, and Norwich City will all play for the final spot in the Premier League for next season. And Huddersfield Town, Sheffield Wednesday, and Rotherham would all be relegated to the third division. Good. So we will be streaming that big promotion game for whoever wins, whoever makes it to the final of the championship game in London, England. Of course, yesterday Plymouth Argyle beat Rotherham 1-0 yesterday. So that doesn't really help Rotherham's chances of staying in the second division. So Leeds will go play Coventry City at 10 a.m. Ipswich Town playing Norwich at the moment, 0-0 game. So that's what to really look at. Those two teams. If Leeds gets the win, they will be tied for first. As long as Ipswich Town don't draw. If Leeds win today and Ipswich Town draw, and Leeds will move up to first place. So that's what the Leeds fans want to see today. 35th minute, 1-1 game. It's been a really quick first half. Not a lot of stoppages. I've really quick first half. Wow. So we have got the dates for the third round of the U.S. Open Cup, we have gotten specific dates for the third round of the U.S. Open Cup. The third round of the U.S. Open Cup, which we'll talk a little bit about during halftime, will be Thursday, April 16th, and no, not Thursday, Tuesday, April 16th, and Wednesday, April 17th. If you're an NYCFC fan, their academy team will be playing Hartford in the third round of the U.S. Open Cup because I don't get it. One of the oldest competitions in one of the oldest, it's like the FA Cup for the USA. One of the oldest competitions in USA, it's over 100 years old. Since 1919, they've been playing the US Open Cup. But, the MLS has decided to opt out, and they've only got they've got 11 teams, I think. The MLS has 11 teams in the US Open Cup. But in the US Open Cup, there's I'm not sure what the split is, but there's 8 MLS teams and a couple MLS Next Pro teams. MLS Next Pro is equivalent to like the Premier League 2 or the Premier League under 18 league. You know what I mean? It's like the minor league. In baseball terms, it's the MLS Next Pro is the minor leagues. They also have a contract with they also do have a contract with Apple TV to stream their game. But the weird thing is, last year's U.S. Open Cup Finals was the Houston Dynamo versus Inter Miami. Now, I don't have a problem with that game. Houston won the game. It was a fair game. They beat Inter Miami, right? Houston is playing in the U.S. Open Cup this year because they won the U.S. Open Cup last year. But it doesn't make sense that Inter Miami is not playing in the U.S. Open Cup because they are, they finished in second, so they should still get to play. They should get to play this year because they played in the finals last year. That was the first time, I think, that Houston has won the U.S. Open Cup. But last year's winner was Houston. Houston are playing in the U.S. Open Cup. The MLS teams enter in round 4 of the U.S. Open Cup, I think. The 4th round of the U.S. Open Cup, they enter. So, this round 3, all the USL championship teams get to kind of enter the round. NYCFC, who had a great win against NYCFC 2 has had a really good NYCFC's MLS Next Pro team. They beat FC Motown 3-0, and they also did beat New York Red Bulls 2 4-2 in that game. So they will play in the US Open Cup. They will go to Hartford and play Hartford Athletic, Hartford is New York's, well, technically New York's USL team. The USL could, if they add promotion and if they become the first league in the USA to add promotion and relegation to the system, they will become bigger than the MLS. That's how it works. Phil Foden sitting on the bench. I know I talked a lot about the U.S. Open Cup. And also Messi will play against Colorado tonight for any Inter Miami fans going to the game in for any Inter Miami fans going to the game in Fort Lauderdale tonight. And also for he didn't get to play in the game against Monterrey, where Inter Miami lost against Monterrey in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. yeah. So Messi's back. He hasn't played in a long time. Hopefully he'll play today. So 42nd minute of playing time. It's Crystal Palace 1. It's Manchester City 1. When we get to halftime, we will talk a lot about what's been going on in the Premier League today. I'll give you my opinions about all the other games happening today, and we'll talk about all the other top soccer games going on today. Here comes Manchester City. Manchester City's got the ball now, passing this one up. They've got a big breakaway. Oscar Bob trying to get that breakaway there. And we'll also talk about this week's games. Stefan Ortega, he is playing today. So, Crystal Palace, of course, Ederson will not be playing today. Stefan Ortega will be the goalie. Stefan Ortega is the goalie today for Manchester City. Because Ederson, he's coming off an injury, and you want to use Ederson in the game against Real Madrid. Save his energy for the Real Madrid game, and kind of keep the Crystal Palace game light, and put Ortega in net. So Ortega, who played in net in a really good game against Arsenal at the Etihad. So really close game at the Etihad, 0-0 game. Yeah. So we are getting closer to halftime. I think it will be a 2 minutes of added on time, halftime for this game. So 2 minutes. We don't know for sure yet. So because we're still in the 44th minute. So I think there's a VAR. There's going to be there is a VAR check for a possible penalty on, I think that is on Manchester City. I think they are searching the VAR. There is a pending VAR. They are looking at the VAR for a possible penalty on Manchester City. So a possible penalty on So there is a possible there is no penalty. 3 minutes have been added on. That was really close to what I said. So the VAR check was a penalty. Watch the replay. Go to YouTube. Go watch the game on TV. You'll see what I'm talking about. I can't show the game, so I can't show you. Because if I were able to show the game, I would do that, and I would explain the penalty and the decision more in depth. But basically, one of the City players pushed was going for the jump, and kind of pushed one of the Crystal Palace players to the ground, and Crystal Palace thought that should be a penalty, but it wasn't. I'm not too familiar. I don't read the football rules. I don't read the football rules book. I don't read the soccer dictionary. I don't have the rules book or anything. Josko Gardevoli, he's getting a yellow card for Manchester City. Manchester City's the first yellow card of the game. So yeah, 47th minute of added on time. he's kind of complaining about that. We're about to get to halftime here in this one. 3 minutes of added on time. We've played about 2 of those 3 added on minutes. We played 2 of those 3 added on minutes. So 47th minute, second minute of added on time. Here comes Manchester City on the attack. Um, 47th minute. So it is John Stones on the attack. John Stones on the attack. The referee about to blow the whistle any minute. Any minute. So Manchester City still got the ball now, still in possession. Not Kyle Walker's. As the referee has blown the whistle now, it is halftime. 45 minutes down, 45 minutes to go here in Selhurst Park. It's Crystal Palace 1, it's Manchester City 1, and the fans in Crystal Palace are excited that they've kept it to a 1-1 draw. Would have been more excited if they were leading the game, but it's a 1-1 draw, and I think they should be happy with it, with the way the game is going. So during halftime, we'll talk about the top 5 leagues, which the top 5 leagues are the leagues that everyone focuses on, and they've also got a lot of interesting games today. So we start off in the Premier League for Crystal Palace, Man City. Crystal Palace, a goal in the 3rd minute for. We'll also go for highlights too, not highlights. We'll talk about what happened in the first half. So Jean-Philippe Mateta got a goal in the 3rd minute. That goal was assisted by Adam Wharton. Then in the 13th minute, Kevin De Bruyne scores, and Josko Gardavoli got a yellow card. So that's what happened in the first half. A 1-1 game. At the moment, Manchester City 3rd in the Premier League, followed by Crystal Palace, who are 14th in the Premier League this season. Kevin De Bruyne, the top-rated players for Crystal Palace. And first, you've got Jefferson Lamara, who has a 7.3 match rating. So does Adam Wharton, has a 7.3 match rating as well. Jean-Philippe Mateta, he got a goal today, and he has a 7.1 match rating. For Manchester City, Kevin De Bruyne has the highest match rating, a 7.8 match rating, followed by Rico Lewis with the 7.1 match rating, and Ruben Diaz with the 7.0 match rating. Let's talk about some of the other games, and I'll kind of give you some thoughts about these games as well. These are kind of my weekend predictions for the top 5 leagues. My weekend predictions. I'm not going to go through each game in super in depth, but we are going to be talking about that as well. We are going to be talking about the leagues as well. We start off in the Premier League. The Premier League, of course. I picked Manchester City to win the game. No surprise there. picking City to win the game is not that surprising. So we're not really. This game doesn't really count towards our game pickings today because it's already been played. So we start off with Aston Villa versus Brentford. That game is being played at Villa Park in Birmingham, England. Brentford versus Aston Villa. Now, I'm picking based on a lot of things. I'll pick Aston Villa. They have a really strong team, so I think Aston Villa could beat Brentford today. Even though Brentford fans won't be happy with that, with me picking that. Everton versus Burnley. We go to Goodison Park in Liverpool for Everton Burnley. I think that Everton can get. I don't really know if Everton can get the win today. I think that Burnley will. I think it'll be a draw. A draw seems the best logic in that game. We go to Fulham. We go to Craven Cottage in London for Fulham Newcastle. Obviously, I got to pick Newcastle to win that game. Newcastle is a really strong team, so I'm picking Newcastle to win that one. We go to Kenilworth Road in Luton, Bedfordshire. Luton Town versus Bournemouth. I pick Bournemouth to win that one any day of the year. We go to the Molineux Stadium in Wolverhampton as Wolverhampton takes on West Ham United. I pick West Ham in that game. So, you know what? I pick a draw. You know what? I pick West Ham. I pick West Ham to win that game. At 12:30, we go to the American Express Stadium in Fulmer, for Brighton versus Arsenal. I pick, as much as I want Brighton to win, but I think that Arsenal could get the win in that one. We go to tomorrow's. That's what we've got for Saturday. We've got Arsenal winning, West Ham winning, Bournemouth, Newcastle, a draw in the Everton-Burnley game, in Aston Villa. Those are my predictions. We go to tomorrow's game. We start off at Old Trafford in Manchester for Manchester United versus Liverpool. That game is a 10:30 game tomorrow. I think that Liverpool will get the win, even though I don't want Liverpool. I just don't. I think, you know what? I think it's gonna be a draw. Best possible case scenario on both sides. Then we've also got we head to Bramall Lane in Sheffield as Sheffield United take on Chelsea tomorrow. Sheffield United have not been a good team all season. The odds are plus 580 for Sheffield to win. I pick Chelsea to win. Going with the odds. Then we go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. Tottenham, Nottingham Forest. Of course, you gotta pick Tottenham to win. And those are my Premier League predictions. My live Premier League predictions for this week. For match week number 38 or whatever match week we're on. Those are my predictions. So for tomorrow, we've got a draw in the Manchester United-Liverpool game. Chelsea beating Sheffield United, and Tottenham beating Nottingham Forest. That's what we've got tomorrow for tomorrow's games. Let's go to another one of the other leagues. We go to La Liga. La Liga, the Spanish La Liga. Yesterday we have no games this week, but the next game is April 12th, which we will not be talking about that game. But on Thursday, we saw Valencia beat Granada 1-0. Good for them. We go to Serie A in Italy, because we've got some really interesting ones today, tomorrow, and we'll also be talking about Monday's game, because that's part of the match week. So we talk about Monday's game. Um, so we'll talk about Monday's game. So we start off with 9 a.m. the 9 a.m. game today. We go to the Stadio Giuseppe Meazza or the San Siro in Italy. And we go to the Stadio Giuseppe Meazza in Milano, Italy. AC Milan taking on Lecce. AC Milan, I think, will get the win. That game's coming up in a little bit. We go to the Stadio Olimpico, which hosted the Olympics a long time ago. As Roma take on Lazio in Rome derby. Rome, Lazio, both teams play in Rome. I think I pick Lazio. I pick a draw in that game. We go to the Stadio Carlo Castigliano in Empoli, Italy, as Empoli take on Torino, and I pick Torino to win that game. So what do I have for today's games? Well, today's Serie A games, Italian Serie A games. Well, I have AC Milan winning against Lecce. I have a draw in the AS Roma Lazio game, and I also have a draw. I also have Torino beating Empoli. That's what I've got today. In case you guys are wondering. So, we've also got some games tomorrow in Serie A, which we will be talking about right now. We head to the Stadio Bento Stripe in Frosinone, Italy, as Frosinone take on Bologna. I used to know how to pronounce the name, but now I don't. As we got a big one tomorrow, Frosinone, Bologna, Bologna. I picked Bologna to win. Bologna, whatever they're called. They're. If the season ended today, they will be a Champions League team. So I should know their name for next season. Bologna. Yeah, Bologna. Bologna versus Frosinone. I picked Bologna to win that game. Popular Italian city. A city that only Italian people know. We head to the U-Power Stadium in Monza. Monza take on Napoli. And you can't pick against Napoli, so I picked Napoli to win. Also tomorrow, at the Unipol Domes in Cagliari, Italy. Cagliari take on Atlanta, and I pick Atlanta to win. I don't think that team. I've been calling it Atlanta for the longest time. I don't think that's how you pronounce it. I pick Atlanta to win. Atlanta to win. We head to the Stadio Macantro in Verona, Italy. Hellas Verona take on Genoa, and I picked Genoa to win that game. And Juventus take on. We head to the Allianz Stadium in Torino. Juventus versus Fiorentina. I pick Juventus, no brainer to beat Florence. So tomorrow I've got Bologna, Napoli, Atlanta, Genoa, and Juventus winning tomorrow. We've also got Monday's game, which is between Inter Milan and Udinese. I picked Milan to win that game. So Inter Milan to win Monday's game. We head to the Bundesliga, Germany, for some German games. We start off with Heidenheim, FC Heidenheim versus Bayern Munich. Of course, wait, let me get there first. Of course, wait, let me get there first. I've got, of course, I've got, of course, I've got Bayern Munich beating Heidenheim. FC Köln taking on Bochum, VfL Bochum. I go for a draw in that one. I go for a nice, easy draw in that game. We've got Mainz versus Darmstadt. I go for Mainz to win that game. You know. Union Berlin taking on Bayern Leverkusen. You can't pick against Bayern Leverkusen. You really, really, really can't pick against Bayern Leverkusen. So I picked them to win. And also today we've got Dortmund versus Stuttgart. Of course I gotta pick Dortmund to win. We got former Manchester City player playing in that game. So of course Erling Haaland playing in that game. Erling Haaland used to play for Dortmund. We picked Dortmund to win. We've got we've got Freiburg versus Leipzig. Of course I picked Leipzig. So I do have a draw. I have Bayern Munich to win, a draw in the Köln-Bochum game. Mainz, Leverkusen, Dortmund, and Leipzig to win games today. Tomorrow we've got Hoffenheim and Mönchengladbach. I have winning tomorrow. So Hoffenheim beating Augsburg and Wolfsburg. Borussia Mönchengladbach beating Wolfsburg tomorrow. And that's what I've got this week in predictions. Some predictions and games we got today. My predictions for today's games. As we are about to get underway for the second half. Second half is about to get underway at Selhurst Park. We are seeing a substitution happening at the moment. I think Josko Gardavoli is coming off. And that is Manuel Nkanji will come on the field for Manchester City as Josko Gardavoli will get off the field. I think yes, I am right. Josko Gardavoli is taking his place on the bench as Manuel Nkanji comes in the game today. So we are underway for the second half of action. Manuel Nkanji to get the ball, passing this one to Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz to Kevin De Bruyne, taken back by Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace has got the ball now. That one heading up the touch line. Crystal Palace still in possession of it. Crystal Palace has it. They are pressuring, putting the attack on. Crystal Palace is. They're putting the attack on. Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace putting the attack on. I don't know why it still says halftime. It's not halftime anymore. Manchester City. I don't know why it's. This thing is so delayed. Manchester City's got the ball now. Going up the touchline with it. So Josko Gardavoli, the first substitution of the game. That game, as it's Nkanji with it. Nkanji's got the ball now. The pass to the shot from Rico Lewis is in. It's in. It's a goal. Yeah. Rico Lewis puts Manchester City up front, and there we go. A goal for Manchester City, a 2-1 a 2-1 lead for the team in blue. Manchester City 2. Currently it's Manchester City 2. It's Crystal Palace 1. What a game it's been so far. But Crystal Palace, they had their moment. They had their lead for 10 minutes. Now it's a 2-1 lead for City. It's gone the other direction. With that goal for Manchester City, they have a plus not 39 goal differential. That goal has boosted Manchester City to second place in the Premier League. So congratulations. They're now second behind Arsenal. So really hoping that Arsenal could lose today. So Manchester City, it's now going to be Crystal Palace with it. Now it's a Manchester City goal. His second of the season, scored by number 82, Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis has played 12 Premier League matches, scored 2 goals and 0 assists. So that is a Manchester City goal, his third of the season, scored by number 82, Rico Lewis, in the goal in the 47th minute. That is a Rico Lewis goal. That is a Rico Lewis goal, his third of the season. That is Rico Lewis, his third goal of the season from third goal of the season. So congratulations to him. Manchester City, this season in the Premier League, they've had the Manchester City are 21 wins this season, 7 draws, and only 3 losses in the Premier League. 3. They have plus 39 goal differential. They are tied for first at the moment. Manchester City are tied for first at the moment. But if they want to get to first place, they need to have a goal differential better than plus 42. So they're currently at plus 39. They need to get to plus 42 if they want to move into that first place. Because that's how they do it in the Premier League. That's how they decide placement in the Premier League. Yeah, I mean, you could be tied with the last place. You could be tied with, like, Sheffield United and Burnley could be tied for last. And Sheffield United have a worse goal differential. So Luton Town and Nottingham Forest could be tied for 18th. Nottingham Forest could have a better goal differential, so that means Luton Town will be going down to the championship, which shouldn't. I don't like when it comes down to goal differential. Not really my thing. So Kevin De Bruyne and Rico Lewis have both helped Manchester City out in a big way, scoring the 2 goals for the Blues, for the team in blue. For the blue side of Manchester, not the angry red side. But the calm blue side, because blue symbolizes calm, I guess. I guess that's how a lot of people use the color blue. Okay. So it's Crystal Palace on the attack. Can Manchester City put the attack on? They need to score some more goals. That Rico Lewis goal was unassisted, by the way. An unassisted goal. So both of the City goals were unassisted. Um, according to FootMob, which you guys should download, it's unassisted. So currently in the championship, Ipswich Town down 1-0 to Norwich City at the moment. It's 0-0. It's 1-0 Norwich City at the moment. So if you guys are Leeds fans, go watch the Leeds game on ESPN Plus later today in the USA. So, going back to the Manchester City game, we are just 15 minutes away from the Leeds against AC Milan game at 9 a.m. East Coast time. At 9 a.m. East Coast time. So that game you can watch on Paramount, on CBS Sports Network or Paramount Plus if you have it. A player down for Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace has the player down. The lowest viewed stream I have done in my life. Here comes the corner kick for Kevin De Bruyne. So we still have the score. 100% of people think that Manchester City will win. The score, well, we haven't had any score predictions, but currently the score is 2-1. 2-1 City. City. Here comes Manuel and Kanji, the pass to now it's Manchester City still on the attack now. Remember, it's a 2-1 City lead. So we aren't going to be streaming March Madness anymore tonight. We were going to be streaming the Purdue NC State game, but not anymore. That March Madness you could watch. We are not going to be streaming March Madness this year. Hopefully we could get it on next year's list. Looks like they're delivering something to the bench. Can't really tell what it is. Like shoes or someone's shoes to the bench. Maybe we could get a substitution in. Crystal Palace have yet to use a substitution, so I guess So that's what we've been seeing at the moment. Here comes Manchester City with the ball. Manchester City has it. They've got possession of it. The pass to Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish has it. The pass saved by Dean Henderson. Now it's still City with the ball. City still got possession of the ball. Erling Haaland passes this one to Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish to Rico Lewis. And back to Manuel Nkanji. Nkanji's got possession of the ball now, passing it to Rodri. Rodri passing this one up front to Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob passing it back. And now Ruben Diaz has possession. Ruben Diaz passing this one up front to Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob trying to get the cross into the net. Trying to get the cross into the net. But can't. Now it's going to be Crystal Palace on the attack. Crystal Palace with the ball. They've still got possession of the ball. Taken back by Manchester City. Manchester City's got possession. Erling Haaland, he's passing this one to Oscar Bob. And Jack Grealish has possession. Kevin De Bruyne passed back to Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish in possession of the ball. Passing up front to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne's got the ball now, crossing this one. Still does not get the goal in time. Oscar Bob with it. The pass to John Stones. John Stones to Oscar Bob and back to John Stones. John Stones passes this one to Ruben Diaz and back to Nkanji. Kevin De Bruyne has it now, passing it to Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne! Oh, what a shot from Manchester City, and that one is missed. It will be a free kick now for Stefan Ortega, a goal kick, I think, for Stefan Ortega. What a shot. Tried to curve that one there. Not a goal kick. It will be a goal kick for Dean Henderson now. Dean Henderson to take the kick. Now it's Eze with it. Eze, who scored against the Norwegian in the Norwegian game. Abrichi Aziz. Here comes Manchester City with it. Manchester City and Nkanji passing this one to Rodri. Rodri's got possession of it. The pass is back to Nkanji. Nkanji's got the ball now. Now Nkanji passes this one to Ruben Diaz. City's still in possession of it. It is Jack Grealish with it. Jack Grealish passing this one to Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz has it now. Ruben Diaz the pass to Rodri. Rodri's got the ball now. Rodri the pass back to Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz the passes this one to, I cannot tell who that is. Ruben Diaz with it. Ruben Diaz passes this one to Rodri. Rodri to Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish to Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez in possession. The shot from Erling Haaland is missed. Oh my God, what a shot from Erling Haaland. Now City still in possession of the ball. Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz passing this one to Manuel Nkanji. Nkanji who finds who finds someone. Ruben Diaz who finds Nkanji. Nkanji taken back by Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace has got the ball now, taken back by City, and a foul on the play there. We have had a foul on the play. And a player down for Manchester City. And that player is Rodrigo. And that player is Rodrigo. And I think there may be a yellow card handed out. Yes, the goal scorer for Crystal Palace, Jean-Philippe Mateta, gets a yellow card for Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace working on a substitution here. I think they're going to get a substitution in. As you can see, the Crystal Palace coach, one of their coaches in the coaching staff, is talking to one of their players. And we're back underway. 62 minutes down. We've got a lot of time remaining. Here comes Manchester City. The pass to Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish gets the step over. Jack Grealish passing this one to Rodri. Rodri, the pass to Grealish. Tried to cross that one to Kevin De Bruyne, but Kevin De Bruyne wasn't there in time, and it will be a goal kick upcoming for Dean Henderson. Crystal Palace is about to make a substitution here. Crystal Palace just waiting for their substitution to work. And here, they're about, I think they're going to make a substitution. Yes, they have. Off comes, for Crystal Palace, off comes Erbachi Aziz, the 25-year-old attacking mid. He comes off in the 64th minute with the 6.2 match rating, and on comes in the 64th minute Jeffrey Skulup, from Ghana, the 31-year-old left wing from Ghana. He will play now for Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace has a lot of young black talent. Crystal Palace is like, if you think Crystal Palace is like England's version of Harlem, I guess. Yeah, Harlem. Crystal Palace is England's version of Harlem. Is in New York City. Here comes Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish, the pass to Rodri. That one deflected off one of the Crystal Palace players. City still in possession. Not Jack Grealish. Rodri passing this one to Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz passing this one back. Ruben Diaz has it now. Ruben Diaz passing to the side to Manuel Nkanji. Crystal Palace putting the pressure on, but can't get the ball in time. It is Manuel Nkanji with the ball now. Nkanji has it. Passing this one, Nkanji still has it now. Manchester City, we are 66 minutes done. 66 minutes down, a couple more minutes to go, and 20 more minutes to go. Here comes Manuel Nkanji. Nkanji to Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish, the pass to Erling Haaland. The pass to Erling Haaland, he gets it. He does it. He completes the goal. A goal for Manchester City. Erling Haaland has done it. He gets the goal for Manchester City. Goal. Manchester City. What a goal for Manchester City. What a goal that was. What a goal. What a goal that was for Manchester City. 3-1 is the score. In case you can't tell, it's a 3-1 game now. It's a 3-1 game at the moment. I think it's a VAR pending. The VAR is checking it over. VAR is checking to see if it's an offsides or not. Of course, we'll give you, okay, VAR check is complete. It's, looks like it's a goal. The goal stands. Erling Braut Haaland, his Manchester City goal, his 19th of the season. scored by number 9, Erling Braut Haaland. So that assisted by number 17, his 6th assist of the season, Kevin De Bruyne, in the 66th minute. So that is an Erling Haaland. So that is an Erling Haaland goal, his 19th of the season. So that is a Manchester City goal scored by number 9, Erling Braut Haaland, his 9th of the season, assisted by Kevin De Bruyne, his 6th assist of the season at 66 minutes into the game. Goal. Here comes Manchester City quickly back on the attack. What a game it's been. That has put Manchester City up to plus 40 goal differential, and that has brought down Crystal Palace to minus 18 goal differential. Kevin De Bruyne still has the highest match rating. He has an 8.6 match rating because they've got a goal and he has a goal and assist today. So here comes Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne with the ball now. Kevin De Bruyne passing this one to Oscar Bob. I think that may have been Rico Lewis as well. Passing this one back to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne to Nkanji. Nkanji's got the ball now. Passing this one to Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish to Kevin De Bruyne and back to Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish has got the ball now. He passes this one to Kevin De Bruyne and he gets that one in the back of the net. Another goal for Manchester City. And they are on fire today. What a goal that was. And the fans are going wild at Selhurst Park. A goal for Manchester City. Wow, what a goal. What a goal that has been. What a goal that is for Manchester City. So, what a game it's been for Manchester City, and what a goal that was. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. Whoa! Manchester City goal. So that is a Manchester City goal. His 3rd of the season. Scored by number 17, Kevin De Bruyne. Assisted by number 16, his 7th assist of the season, Rodri. Scored in the 70th minute. That is a Kevin De Bruyne goal, his 3rd of the season. So that is a Manchester City goal, his 3rd of the season, scored by number 17, Kevin De Bruyne, assisted by Rodri, his 7th assist of the season in the 70th minute. Manchester City are looking to possibly make a substitution. That's what Guardiola is talking to his team about at the moment, I think. If I'm not wrong. Here comes Kevin De Bruyne. So what a goal. Kevin De Bruyne, 2 goals and an assist. He has helped out in every goal, in every way, shape, or form today. Kevin De Bruyne currently, according to FootMob, has a 9.3 match rating with 2 goals and assists. Clap it up for Kevin De Bruyne, who will surely get man of the match, probably. Here comes Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland has it. The shot is missed from Manchester City. So, I think that they could put it in cruise control for the rest of the game. I would put it in cruise control at this point in the game. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. So Manchester City are looking to make a substitution. So that is they are taking off Rodri. Rodri is coming off the field. Mateo Kovacic comes on. Manchester City substitution. Off comes number 16 Rodri, and on comes number 8 Mateo Kovacic. I will be right back. And they will be, and that is Manchester City's second substitution in the game. 3 more substitutions to go. Another substitution for Manchester City. Off comes. I see that they're making a lot of the substitutions at the moment. So Manchester City substitution. Off comes number 19. Off comes number 19 Julian Alvarez. On comes number 27 Mateus Nunes. Crystal Palace substitution. Off comes number 9 Jordan Ayew, and on comes number 7 Michael Olise. Another substitution for Crystal Palace. Off comes Jean-Philippe Mateta, and on comes Adociano Eduardo. Another substitution for Crystal Palace. Off comes Tyreek Mitchell, and on comes Nathaniel Clyne. So that is 1 substitution remaining for Crystal Palace, 2 for Manchester City. That was because they've used 4 substitutions. And I don't know if they're going to do another one as well. I will be right back, guys. Right back. Right in a minute. I am back, guys. I am back. Back at it. 15 minutes plus stoppage time to go. It's Manchester City 4. It's Crystal Palace 1. What a game it's been so far. There's Phil Foden on the bench. He won't be able to play today's game. He's injured, so he won't be playing today's game. Phil Foden won't be playing today's game, and so is Nathan Ake in a calf injury. Hopefully, Kyle Walker won't be playing too. He's expected to return mid-April, so I do not know when. He played the game against Brazil and got injured, so I don't know when he will return. We did stream that game, Brazil versus England. If you wanna watch any stream, if you wanna wake up at 6 a.m. and watch soccer with me, you can. Just look at when I'm doing streams, and you can come watch. Come tune in to the streams. A throw in for Manchester City. 76 minutes. 76 minutes down, 14 to go. It's Manchester City 4. It's Crystal Palace 1. Manchester City are currently second in the Premier League. They need to score 1 goal to be tied. Officially, they need to score 2 more goals if they want to be first in the Premier League. If they want to automatically be first. Manchester City's biggest win against Crystal Palace was a 5-0 win back in the Premier League, May 6, 2017. So, oh yeah. What? I was confused for a second. Manchester City have never gotten a bigger win than 5 goals. They have not had a bigger win than they have never beaten Crystal Palace by more than 5 goals in a game in their 23 games they have played. According to FootMob. That one is out of bounds. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. Here comes Manchester City with the ball now. That one going up front, trying to bring it across the touchline. Manchester City still in possession of it. We're about to get to. We're almost done with the game. We've got 10 minutes to go in this one. I've been live for an hour 42 minutes. So after this game, we'll share some. I'll talk about how I felt about the game, and that's really it. What we've got planned, and then you guys can watch our stream tomorrow. We'll be live. The game begins at 1:40 p.m. First pitch between the Mets and the Reds will be at 1:40 p.m. Tomorrow. So, and coverage begins at 1:25. Game begins at 1:40 p.m. between the Mets and the Reds tomorrow. It will be the pitching matchup will be Sean Mania, who's pitched one game this season for the Mets, pitching against Andrew Abbott of the Reds, both 0-0 on the season. Mania hasn't pitched this season yet, I don't think so, for the Mets. Baseball should be fun to watch tomorrow. I'm excited to stream some baseball tomorrow. The Mets game tomorrow. Here comes Crystal Palace with it. Crystal Palace has got the ball now. The shot saved by Stefan Ortega. Wasn't really a big shot from Crystal Palace, but Ortega got the ball. You know. Yeah, for Manchester City, currently in second place with plus 41 goal differential. Liverpool has a plus 42 goal differential. So, I think Crystal Palace is going to make a substitution. Kevin De Bruyne is on the ground. He's grabbing his. I'm not going to name that area because that is not. I am not going to say what I saw. He's grabbing his arm. Okay, he's not. I thought he was grabbing something. He's grabbing his arm. Okay. Disregard everything I just said. He's grabbing his arm. Crystal Palace are making a substitution at the moment. Crystal Palace substitution. Off comes Will Hughes, and on comes Nora Amada. For Crystal Palace. In the 82nd minute. I need like a tissue. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. am back, guys. I am back. Yeah, we've got 8 minutes, well, now 7 minutes to go. 7 minutes plus stoppage time till the end of the game. And no one has predicted the score correctly, so I'm gonna close that. What do you guys think the score will be? We are not, that should have ended a long time ago. So who will win the game? That closes in a little bit. That closes at the 90th minute, when we reach the 90th minute mark. 84 minutes. Wow, it's getting sunny outside. I know. It's really early in the morning for a stream, but we gotta do for Manchester City fans. We gotta do what we gotta do. Here comes Manchester City with the ball. So I'm not. We'll be talking through these couple minutes. Also in Serie A action, Christian Pulisic gets a goal. Samuel Chiwuzi assists on the goal. It's AC Milan 1, Nice 0 in the 15th minute of that game. So 84th minute, there's a player down for Manchester City. I don't know I think Manchester City will make a substitution. There's Pep Guardiola talking to one of his coaches. I think that's the guy who manages the subs on the bench. I don't really know who it is. Crystal Palace has got the ball now. Crystal Palace with it. Manchester City still in possession. That one is going to be a throw-in for Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace has got the ball now. Passing this one back to the goalie. As we see that a City player getting ready to get on the field. Maybe making his debut. I've never seen that guy in a day in my life. Not Kelvin Sullivan. Here comes Manchester's Crystal Palace. A goal! Whoa! Goal! Boo! Goal! Boo! Goal! Crystal Palace! Their second goal of the game. Yeah. That kind of just ruined it for City in terms of, you know what? Manchester City still have a plus 40 goal differential. You know, I thought one goal would do the trick. Nah. So now we're hoping that Manchester United at least score 2 against them. So that is Crystal Palace. We'll talk about that goal in a moment's time. 86th minute. Crystal Palace goal. As we're gonna be talking about that goal in a second once I get what actually happened in the goal. That is a Crystal Palace goal scored by Odasan Edward, assisted by Jeffrey Scollop. Both of those players were both subs in this game, by the way, in the 87th minute. We got 3 minutes plus added on time till the end of this one. You still got 2 minutes to vote on who you think will win the game. Will it be Crystal Palace bringing the miracle, or will it be City who probably will get the win? 87th minute. The poll closes in 2 minutes. Kevin De Bruyne is still with the highest rating of the match, a 9.3 match rating. We'll talk about the match ratings in a little bit. AC Milan get a goal. That's another goal. I don't know who it's from. But AC Milan do get another goal. Against Leeds, 2-0 Milan. That I still don't know who scored it. 88th minute still. 2 minutes plus stoppage time. You know what? Now it's time to do my favorite part of the stream. Not my favorite part, but how much time do I think will be added on? 4 minutes of added on time. I think we're gonna see a comfortable 4 minutes of added on time. I don't know how, but I think we'll get 3 to 4 minutes. Because of the VAR check and a lot of other things in the second half. The first half felt very fast paced. The second half did not, as there's going to be a substitution for Manchester City. Who's number 20? Oh, Bernardo Silva. Oh yeah, Bernardo Silva. I think City's going to make a substitution once the ball gets out of play. Yeah, and in the final, you have 20 seconds to make your vote count. You got 15 seconds to make your vote count. Now you got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we voted. We voted on who we think is going to win the game, and only one person voted, which is the only person who watched the stream today. Thank you for voting. Thank you for voting on Manchester City to win the game. Manchester City, according to the votes, have a 100% chance of winning the game. So we have at Selhurst Park, we have 7 minutes of added on time in this one. We have 7 stoppage time minutes. And in Spanish, we have siete minutos. Siete minutos. We have siete minutos minutes added on. Siete minutos of extra time, which means 7 minutes which means 7 minutes in Spanish. 6 minutes to go in this extra time period. I'm really tired today. Manchester City are looking to make a substitution once the ball gets out of bounds. We've known that for a while. So, who will the substitution be? I think we're going to see the video board with the substitution. Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. Manchester City substitution. Off comes number 17, Kevin De Bruyne, and on comes number 20, Bernardo Silva. In the 90th minute of added on time, there's Bernardo Silva, who is now on the field and now warming up. So we are 2 minutes into this extra time period. Manchester City 4, Crystal Palace 2. So Manchester City have scored a lot. Kevin De Bruyne, 2 goals and an assist. That's really good. He scored 2 goals and assisted in a goal to get a 9.3 out of 10 in the match rating. Really good for him. Manchester City still second in the standings, still plus 40 on the goal differential. They need to score 2 more goals if they want Liverpool has a plus 42 goal differential. So they need to score 2 more goals if they want to tie Liverpool. Or hope that Liverpool lose 2-0 to Manchester United. I know it's like I know. Nothing. I know that we don't want Manchester United to win because of Manchester City, Manchester United, but we want Manchester United to beat Liverpool by more than 2 goals because if they do, Manchester City will be first place. So it's kind of like it's a little like different. It's a little mixed. I have mixed opinions about the game tomorrow, so I'm gonna watch the game tomorrow because that game is for all the marbles at the moment. At the moment, the season's not even over yet. We've still got a month to go. The season ends in the end of May. The Champions League finals is June 10th, I think. The Champions League final will be in. I know if Manchester City make it to the Champions League finals, I know everyone's gonna say it's rigged because they're playing the Champions League finals in Wembley Stadium. People are gonna say, no matter what, people find a way to say that everything is rigged. Huh? Yeah. Like in on Wednesday, the Inter Miami game on Wednesday, no, Monterrey fans were chanting, they were chanting, yeah, they were chanting, Messi is scared during the game because he was on the bench and he couldn't play because of injury. And they ended up losing. And Monterrey ended up beating. Monterrey is a place in Mexico, by the way. They beat Inter Miami that game. So I don't. So they were chanting Messi is scared. He went to the refs. Messi went to the refs and Inter Miami went to the refs and started complaining. And everyone thought that game was rigged. Even though they lost, they thought it wasn't rigged, but they thought the refs were on their side. That's another big thing that people will argue about people paying the refs all the time. It's the way it works or something. I don't know. It's the way sports works. Everyone's gotta complain about something. Someone's probably gonna go complain about the Crystal Palace fans are gonna go complain about this game because they lost because they're gonna lose 2. We still got a minute left of added on time. And Crystal Palace fans are still gonna complain about that penalty that could have been awarded to them. I think Crystal Palace was overreacting on that penalty kick. He was jumping and pushed the other player he jumped in the air and pushed the other player to the ground, and it wasn't a penalty. The referee ruled it not a penalty, even though Crystal Palace fans and coaches were complaining. That shouldn't have been a penalty anyways. And I agree with the referee's decision. So, the game's almost over here. Just about 20 seconds left. 6 minutes of the 7 added on time. We are going to be we're not going to be streaming next week's game because it's the same day as the Rangers game. So we aren't going to be streaming next week's game. We might be streaming the Champions League final on the Champions League game on Tuesday. I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure yet. But we are going to be doing the game. I do not know. We might be doing the game April 17th. I don't know. And that does it. The referee's about to blow his whistle any moment now. To signify that Manchester City, the Crystal Palace section is empty. The City section is full. The fans are, and the coaches shake hands. It's over in London. It's been a beautiful day in London, but it's over. Crystal Palace Crystal Palace 2, Manchester City 4. Let's talk about the final. Let's give our final thoughts and opinions about that game. Well, the match ratings say a lot. I think Kevin De Bruyne deserves to be man of the match. For the top-rated players for Manchester City, a 9.3 match rating for Kevin De Bruyne, an 8.1 for Rico Lewis, and a 7.9 for Rodri. For Crystal Palace, Adam Wharton had a 7.7 match rating, Daniel Munoz had a 7.2 match rating, and Jordan Ayew had a 7.2 match rating as well. So, according to the Premier League, according to the Premier League, we still do not know who has the man of the match yet, according to the Premier League. Well, you can vote for the man of the match now, and everyone, Kevin De Bruyne has 72% of people voting for him as man of the match, player of the game, man of the match. Kevin De Bruyne wins man of the match, as he should, because he scored 2 goals and assist. You don't score 2 goals and assists to not be named the player of the game. That's not how it works. Erling Haaland had a 21% chance of winning player of the game. Rico Lewis had a 1% chance. Adam Wharton had a 1.5. Jean-Philippe Mateta had a 1.1. Rodrigo had an 0.8% of people voted for him. Ruben Diaz had 0.4% of people vote for him. Osani Eduardo had 0.1. So did Jeffrey Soares had 0.1, and Jeffrey Scola 0.1. So Kevin De Bruyne is the man of the match. What a game this was from Selhurst Park. Manchester City 2, Manchester City 4, Crystal Palace 2. We'll be back to live stream tomorrow for the Mets game, as the Mets take on the Cincinnati Reds tomorrow. And done.